What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. There's something off about the matchmaking here in Black Ops 6. Some people will blame these inconsistencies on skill-based matchmaking or on engagement-optimized matchmaking, while others will say all of the inconsistencies we are experiencing are due to skill-based damage becoming a thing in Black Ops 6. And frankly, to me, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be any of the three or all of the three. Regardless of that, there is something inherently inconsistent about the matchmaking system, to the point where it creates a disingenuous experience, an inauthentic experience, an experience that's completely manipulated. And here's the thing. This is by design. You see the inconsistencies that Black Ops 6 has, whether it's with the connection, the time to kill, whatever it might be. All of that is planned by Activision to try to manipulate you to play the next game, because it might be better next game. Next game you might get the win. Oh, you got the win last game? You might get it again this game, but probably not. But we want you to play to find out. They're trying to entice you to play the next match every single time you play a match, manipulating you to play longer. They're essentially creating a drug-like response to playing Call of Duty, getting you to chase the dragon longer and longer and longer, even though the effects of catching the dragon don't have the same feeling as they once did. But that's what they want. They want you to become addicted to the matchmaking system, praying and hoping that you're going to get that one good game, praying and hoping that you're finally going to get that win if the algorithm allows you to, instead of realizing that the entire experience is inherently flawed, problematic, inconsistent, and straight up bad. I've said it before, but this community lacks self-respect. The amount of things that they excuse from Activision is unbelievable. The current state of the netcode is abysmal. The current state of the map design and spawn system is abysmal. And yet you'll have people defending it at every single turn. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, how hard do you think it is to be a developer? You don't understand. I don't care. These developers don't understand how hard my job is. It's not my job to understand how hard their job is. It's their job to create a good product. But Activision has de-incentivized making a good product and instead promoted these manipulative tactics to try to drive up player retention. The problem is, one of the key factors for player retention isn't how many games you win or chasing that dragon repeatedly. It's about how fun your experience is. What about Black Ops 6 is inherently fun, is over-the-top fun outside of campaign and zombies? Well, it's not the map design, it's not the spawn system, it's not the constant packet burst. It might be the gunplay, but you have to deal with all of the other crap to get to the gunplay, so is it even worth your time or energy? Not really. And this is the problem, because Call of Duty is consistently chasing this player retention metric. They have completely forgotten about the overall player experience. There is nobody in this community that wants disbanding lobbies. I think we've made that pretty clear over the last 5 years, and yet it continues to be an issue. They tried to resolve it in Modern Warfare 2, and then they did nothing after that. And once again, disbanding lobbies are here in Black Ops 6. Impossible to build a community. Impossible to try to make friendships in this game. Because not only do you have disbanding lobbies, you also have a chat and voice moderation system that's going to ban you at the first sign of saying the F word in a rated M4 mature game. Because heaven forbid the little 12-year-olds that we design every single skin for feels a little offended. Seriously, what are we doing here? We have watered down the entire experience into something that is not reminiscent of the legacy of this franchise. It's a complete and utter joke at this point. And you are bleeding players from this community. I get it that it's the highest selling Call of Duty of all time. Great, cool, awesome. The most players ever on Game Pass as a result. Awesome. I think those are great things. Means the marketing worked. But what we're going to see is a similar drop off to what we saw with MW2 because the core gameplay experience isn't refined enough. It's not good enough to maintain your players because you have put this manipulative system above everything else. What matters to them more is trying to chase this metric instead of chasing an optimal and enhanced gameplay experience. I said it before when it came to cheaters. If Call of Duty tried to become the leader in the anti-cheat world, they could do it, and they should do it. But instead, they want to play catch-up all the time. And they are doing the same thing with their multiplayer. There was a time where every single multiplayer game that was releasing was trying to copy Call of Duty. Think back to 2010, 2011, 2012. Heck, Halo 4's entire gameplay philosophy was revolved around trying to make it more like Call of Duty, and they failed. They failed miserably because they forgot their own identity, which is exactly what Call of Duty is doing while they're trying to chase Apex Legends and Fortnite. That's what they want to be like, instead of realizing they are Call of Duty. You were the top of the top within this industry, and you've completely forgotten that. You've degraded the player experience over time and instead traded it in for an inauthentic experience that is chasing some metric that, frankly, would be able to be self-sustainable if your game was better. If Call of Duty was good, they wouldn't have to focus on this player retention number so much because it would just be there, authentically, like it used to be. But instead, because they don't want to make their experience better, they don't want to invest in better servers, they don't want to push their developers to make better games, they have to create these manipulative tactics that prey on the psychology of your brain to keep you playing more, to make their game more like an addiction than an actual good experience. And here's the crazy thing. I don't even think they need to remove skill-based matchmaking entirely. I think that you need it for the lowest denominator of player, that lowest bracket. You need them to be fostered into this game to learn the mechanics of the game before you throw them in the deep end to play against people like Scump. But I want to play against people like Scump. Just because I'm not deemed good enough by the algorithm doesn't mean I don't want to. That's how I get better. That's how I want to learn from these people. But instead, I'm forced to play within my bracket, have terrible ping, and consistently inconsistent matches. Only to get drip-fed a few really good games here and there that you get to see here on YouTube. And I'm sorry, I'm a little tired of it. We mentioned it before. The experience of Black Ops 6 is becoming exhausting. People are getting burnt out because this game exchanges authenticity for inauthenticity. And that inauthenticity leads to people just getting fed up sooner. And I'm sorry, that doesn't work for your player retention numbers that you so desperately need, Activision. It's time to put quality over quantity. And that's what Call of Duty should strive for. Creating a quality experience instead of caring about the number of players you're retaining. Because trust me, quality will lead to quantity. But for whatever reason, Activision refuses to try to hold their teams to a certain standard. Hold themselves to a certain standard. Now, this all feels like wasted breath because we've been down this road before. But even if a few of you can be reminded of just how bad this experience is, maybe at some point we can force some change. I don't know. It's probably never going to happen, but I feel like it's necessary to talk about. We need it to be front of mind with this community because it's getting to be extremely frustrating being a fan of this franchise and wanting this franchise to finally realize the potential every game has, only to be held back by decisions that Activision makes. I'm just tired of it, man. I want so much more for this franchise. I want so much more for this community because we all deserve it. We've had bad title after bad title after bad title. We deserve a better experience. And yet, Activision just has no incentive to do so. But that's it for the video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down below in the comments section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.